So first of all, thank you very much for having us. It's great being here, a lot of great companies. I kind of felt like a good-looking girl. You know, I think everybody's been checking out my ass all morning, but I guess it's the wallet. It's not nothing else. Arjun told me to go personal, so I'll start with my mother. Now, I'll start with how I got to being a VC, and then I'll give you a 1.5-minute pitch of Hasselplattner Ventures, and I'll let you be. I started my career after the Army. I went to the Army. I'm from Israel, from Tel Aviv. I went to the Army. I didn't do anything complicated or useful for anyone, but I did go to the Army for 3 years, and then I went to become a political consultant. I started in the Israeli parliament. I moved to the government. I worked for a consulting firm. For 3 years, I worked with governments. I worked with political candidates. I worked with big corporations. I worked with Microsoft, with Intel, with Cisco. And one of my clients was the Polish government. And I went to Poland to meet with them quite a few times, and I met the Minister of Economy, who's a quite nice guy, and we had a chat about the future of Poland. And he talked to me about innovation, which is an odd thing to have a conversation about in Poland, coming from Israel. But I came from the political world. I didn't know anything about startups or technology. And he talked to me about VC and about him wanting to build VC in Poland, and it sounded like an interesting concept. So I got a book from Lehman Brothers. There used to be a bank called Lehman Brothers. Bo is the only person here who may remember it. Bo was talking about his first Nokia phone. It was this big with an antenna. So I got a book from Lehman Brothers about VC, what VC was. I read it. And I went to an Israeli firm called Giza, and I pitched the idea of a VC in Poland, and they told me it was really a stupid idea. And one of the young partners, a guy called Yaron Valo, did catch on to that idea, and we started working on it. We worked on it for about a year. We went to Poland, we met some companies, we built a pitch, we pitched it to the fund, to the partnership, and we got $100,000 in funding, or $80,000 to build a venture capital fund. $80,000. And for the next 3 years, I went to Poland. I kept going, trying to raise money. And I found a team, and the whole team left after a few months. And I found another team, and that team left. And the third team was great. Two amazing partners. And we ended up building a fund, a $30 million fund in Poland, the first fund in Central Eastern Europe, or the first pure play VC fund in Central Eastern Europe. So I guess I come to the world of VC. The reason I wanted to tell this story is I come to this world from the entrepreneurial side, not from the investor side. I actually think I'm one of the only people to ever do a private PPM for a fund before writing a term sheet for a company. I made my first investment after being a general partner in a fund. But I come here from the entrepreneurial side of the game, and I hope that I, as well as my partner Yaron, who was a partner in Giza at the time that I started the fund and is a partner in HPV now, we are both entrepreneurs. We both come from that side of the game. We've both been through the ups and the downs. You can imagine that pitching a venture capital fund in Poland, I got a lot of no's. I got a hell of a lot of no's. I got hundreds of no's. A lot of hell no's, a lot of get the hell out of my office. And I understand that part of the business, and I think that what we try to bring when we invest is that experience, is the experience as entrepreneurs, the experience as founders, the experience as founders of successful companies, and by the way, of unsuccessful companies as well. Hasselplattner Ventures, which is the fund where I'm a part of now, together with Yaron, it was founded by quite a successful entrepreneur. I don't think he's gotten a lot of no's, at least not in recent years, Professor Hasselplattner, who founded SAP and started the fund in 2005. He started it to support originally students from the Hasselplattner Institute in Potsdam, and it has evolved into a VC firm investing across Europe, Israel, and a little bit in North America. We manage about 150 million euros in 2 separate funds. We invest 2 to 5 million euros usually. Although we would go a little smaller, we would go a little larger. It's all All depends on the situation. We look for A round, B rounds, companies with a little bit of traction, but with a lot of potential. Always big markets, always great entrepreneurs, always product-driven value. So we are Israelis, we do look for technology, we look for product. We look for product. I have 1 more minute, so if anybody has a question, don't do questions. Really, because I was planning on a question. Can I do 1 question? No questions. Okay, no questions. I'll give you a minute. So I'm done. If anybody has any questions, I'm still here.
Good stuff.